All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad you joined us today to learn all about our upgraded business online banking platform. I'm Shelley Paquette, Vice President of Business Services at First Community Bank. I know many of you on the call today and look forward to working with those of you I may not have yet met. Our customers asked for enhanced banking services and products, and we listened. The First Community Bank team is excited to roll out our largest ever technology upgrade. This smarter platform will deliver an advanced dynamic system for us and an even better customer experience for you. Through the upgrade, you can expect things like enhanced mobile banking through a new business-only app, an improved online platform, which we will detail for you shortly, extended cutoff times for same-day processing, and a new product, ACH Positive Pay. To ensure a smooth transition to the upgraded system, we're not only offering these webinars, but we mailed out system upgrade guidebooks to all of our First Community Bank households within the last few weeks. These guidebooks for both consumer and business accounts detail the steps account holders need to take before the conversion weekend, which will begin Friday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. through Monday, June 5th. Downloadable PDF versions of the guidebooks can also be accessed on our website at www.firstcommunitysc.com. There's a gray banner at the top with an alert. If you click on Learn More, that will take you in and give you more information about the upgrade. For your convenience, the Business Online Banking Guidebook also has a quick start guide at the back that provides step-by-step instructions on how to sign in to Business Online Banking. Additionally, you should have received a letter with sign-in credentials for the new upgraded platform. It will include your company ID, company name, and your administrator ID with additional instructions. If you haven't already done so, please contact our Business Services Department at the numbers listed on the screen to ensure that we have the correct phone numbers on file so you will have easier access to the online banking system come Monday, June 5th. Important dates to note, preview site is available. We're currently in preview. It began on Monday, May 22nd, and is running through this Friday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. Conversion weekend is this weekend, Friday, June 2nd through Monday, June 5th. Mobile banking and business online banking will be unavailable from 6 p.m. Friday, June 2nd through Monday, June 5th. And bill pay will be unavailable from 8 a.m. Friday, June 2nd through Monday, June 5th. Now we're ready to demonstrate how to use First Community Bank's upgraded business online banking platform. We will highlight the different features and functionality available to you through the upgrades. Demonstrations will be performed within the system, giving you a real-time view of how easy it is to navigate. Get your questions ready. We'll be happy to address during different checkpoints in the presentation. This conference call will be muted during the presentation. The wire and ACH information is optional. If your business is using these additional features, please remain in this session to learn more about these topics. To get to First Community Bank's Business Online Banking, type the address listed in the screenshot directly into your web browser. Select Business from the Login menu under Online Banking, where you'll be directed to the Business Online Banking site. Just a reminder, update your favorites of your internet browser with the new URL to make sure that future access will be even easier for you. This screen is the landing page for your login, where you will enter in your company ID and your user ID. The next screen displayed will be the one-time security code prompt. This is what we call out-of-band authentication. After clicking the Continue with the security code button, you will be presented with an option to receive the one-time security code either by phone or by text. If you choose to receive the code by phone, enter the code presented and click the phone call completed. If you choose to receive the code via text message, enter the code presented and click the Submit button. With this being said, it is now time to show you how the application works. With me today is Lisette Holt. Lisette will guide us through the application as well as demonstrate the features. So let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Shelley. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the call. Here's the new First Community Bank welcome page that you'll see after you have successfully logged into Business Online Banking, also known as BOB. All users are required to conduct an out-of-band authentication at first login. And as you can see, the welcome page offers information links that are easily accessible and contained in various panels. Each of you will be able to easily customize panels based on your needs. So for this webinar today, I'll be using a demonstration environment. So give me one moment to bring up the demonstration environment, please. And here we have our welcome page on the demonstration site. So when you first log in, your welcome page will only contain the standard panels. By using the Add Info panel, this allows you to add additional panels that you would like to have on your welcome page. So let's take a look at how this function works. So if I click on Add Info panel, this brings up all the available panels, and you're able to scroll through the different panels by clicking on the pages at the bottom. The one that I'm going to demonstrate today is the Important Account Balances panel. So I'm going to click on Add Now, and I can click on Dashboard to go back to the Welcome page. I can come up top here and click on Welcome, and it'll do the same thing. It'll take me back to my Welcome page. With the Important Account Balances panel, the user is able to add an unlimited number of panels to their Welcome page. So we can go to Edit Accounts Displayed here to add our information into the Important Accounts Balances. So if I click on Edit Accounts Displayed, I have checking, savings, certificate of deposit, and loan. And I'm able to go in and add 7 of each type of account. So I can add up to 7 checking, 7 savings, 7 certificate of deposits, and 7 loans per panel. So once I go in and I add my account, I'm going to click on Save. And then I'll just close this box, or I can click on Return to Dashboard, and it takes me back to my Welcome page here. So here you can see that I have my accounts added. I've got checking, savings, certificate of deposit, and loan accounts. If I click on the account number, this is the last 4 digits of the account number. It brings up the account activity for this particular account. Now I'm going back to the Welcome page here. Also here I can minimize and maximize my page by clicking on the minus. That allows me to minimize the page, and then click on the plus sign to maximize the page. I can also delete the panel by clicking on the drop-down box there and delete this panel. You can easily add the panel back if you like. You can also, to customize your page, we can also move these panels around. So you just want to click, drag, and drop. Next, let's take a look at the alerts. Under the panel that says Recent Alerts and Messages, I'm going to go to Manage Alerts. And in our Manage Alerts page here, we're able to add different alerts. We've got account alerts, non-account alerts, and then custom alerts. I'm going to go in and select my account number, and then click on Go. And then all of the alerts that are available for this particular account will appear. So I've got balance and activity alerts, transfer and payment alerts, stop payment alerts, wire transfer alerts. And then if I come over here, I can add or delete or change any of these that are listed here. So if I wanted to add an alert, I'm going to go ahead and add the multiple account transfer approval pending. So if I click on Add, this opens up and I can select the email account that I want it to go to. I can select both or one or none, and then click on Add Alert. Then if I wanted to go in and change, I just click on Change and I can change it and save. Then I also have the option here to delete. Now there are some mandatory alerts that are here, and one of them is transaction failed. And if you notice here all the way over to the right-hand side, I can only change. I'm not allowed to delete this. I do not have that option. So that lets me know that this is a mandatory alert that I'm not able to delete. You can go on and make changes to it, but not delete it. And then we have non-account alerts here. Here you can go and add your non-account alerts, such as ACH file upload approval pending, wire file import completed with errors, and the list goes on. And this is going to be based on your entitlements and the accounts that you have access to. And then we have our custom alerts here. You're able to set up custom alerts. So here, if we wanted to add a new alert, click on Add New Alert. I would give it a subject name, an alert message, and this is just for myself. And then Send To. I select where I want it to be sent to. And then the frequency, and we have a lot of options here. We've got one time, weekly, every other week, twice a month, the 1st and the 15th of the month, monthly, last day of the month, every 3 months, every 3 months, last day of the month, every 6 months, every 6 months, last day of the month, yearly, and then we can also customize it. Then you're going to select your next send-on date, so when do I want the alert to start? And then I would just click on Add Alert. And then I've got a custom alert set up. So now I'm going to go back to my welcome page. Also with your calendar here, you will have your custom alerts will appear here. You can just click on the date and they will be in green. Any activities that you have out there, any pending approvals or anything like that will be in your calendar. Like I have these here in June, I have some listed in green. So if I click on one of the dates there, it tells me I have some scheduled requests and custom alerts. Next, we're going to take a look at the administration view. So up here we have our navigation tab, and these will follow us through each page that we're on or screen. So I'm going to select, I'm going to just hold my mouse over the administration tab, and here we're going to be going over demonstrating some of the functions in company administration and then self-administration. And I do want to add that the company administration functions are only going to be available to the company admin. So if you're not a company admin, these functions will not be available to you. So under company administration, I'm going to go to Manage User. And I do want to add that with these next functions that I'll be going over with you, these functions are going to need to be done by the company administrator, and they need to be done before the users can access any accounts or features. So the company admins will already be added to the system once you log on, and then they'll go in and add all users. So here on the Manage Users page, and we also have a menu over here too on the left-hand side. So here we can create a new user, and we can also manage our existing users here. Before we create a new user, I do want to go over how to reset a password as the company admin. So here I have May Showers. If I click on System Access, I can go in. If the user is locked, it'll say User Locked here. And to unlock the user, you just remove the check mark that's there. If you need to update their password or change their password, you would type in their password, and then confirm it. And here's your password criteria listed there. And you want to make sure that the user is unlocked, and then just save your changes. So now let's go ahead and look at how to create users. And this is what the company administrators will be doing, going in and creating their the users. So here we want to give our user a username. And then a password. First name. Last name. Primary email. You have the option to give them to put in a secondary email and add additional information also, if there's any notes or anything that you want to add. And then we will add the user's telephone number. So you would select a label, select the country, and then you put in the phone number. But here, if you select a different country here, then the country code is not required in the area or city code and number field. And you are able to add an extension also. Then I'm going to continue. Now here, this allows me to copy an existing user. If I do not want to copy an existing user, I would select that first option, or I can select Copy User, and then select User. And then I would select the user that I want to copy from the list here, and then Copy User. And then it's going to pull all of that user's information over, all of their entitlements and accounts and services that they have. And this might be an easier way to add your users. It's not required. You can go in and start at the very beginning and do not copy user. For the demonstration today, we're going to go over copying a user. So here, user roles, these are all the roles that have been assigned to the admin that we're copying. So if I didn't want my user to have all of these roles that are listed here, I would just deselect. So the first one allows the user to set up templates. The second one allows this user to approve transactions. And then the last one grants this user administration privileges. I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then we've got the services and accounts. So here for, let's say for multiple account transfer, I'm going to go ahead and select change so that you can see. So here this user has access to these accounts that are listed here. Then we've got the account number, the routing number. Entitled from the account allows them to set up. And then entitled from the account allows them to transfer funds from the account, and this allows them to transfer funds to the account. So entitled from account and entitled to the account, and then allow transmit allows them to approve the transaction. So as the company admin, you would go in and determine what functions you want to give this user and what accounts you want to tie to this particular function. You can also go in and remove a function by just clicking on Remove. let's say when we go in here for multiple account transfers, if we make any changes, we want to make sure that we save changes, and then we're going to go down to the bottom and click on Continue. And then as you can see here, we're moving through the workflow here. And if I wanted to go back and change any information that I've added already, I can just click on one of the links up at the top. Now we have the ACH limit. And right now for the company, the limit is set at $2 million. And it's also set for this particular user at $2 million. If we click on View Company Limits here, we can go in and see what the company limits are set at. So here we have the daily maximum wire limit. And then down here we have the daily ACH maximum limit. And then the daily account ACH limit. And then the ACH transaction detail limit. And then the bill pay transaction limit. Also up here you'll notice that we have the company daily limit listed here. And then today's total. So you'll see a running total of the funds that have been used for the entire company. So here first we have the ACH daily maximum service limit. So we have the different services listed here. And as you can see for this particular user, there's no limit set. But I can go in and remove the no limit and add a limit here. So now for ACH file upload, this particular user that I'm setting up has a $50,000 daily limit for ACH. Then down at the bottom, we have the ACH account limit. This is where you can put limits on a particular account. So you just remove the check mark and you add a limit per account. So now I have a $50,000 limit for this user, a daily limit for ACH file upload, and for the money market account, the daily limit is set at $5,000. Then I'm going to continue. Next we have the wire limit. And again, you can go in to view the company limits for wire. Here we have the wire services listed here, and then the user daily service limit we would add here. Then down at the bottom we have the wire account limit. So we've got our accounts set here. And with the wire account limit, you're able to set a user individual transaction limit. So I can set a limit per transaction. And then I'm able to also set a user daily account limit. So for this user, I have a $25,000 per transaction limit for this money market account and a $50,000 daily limit set for this money market account. Then I'm going to continue. And then I'm going to verify the information that's here. I can go in and change any of these by clicking on Change, and then I can update. Then I'm going to go ahead and submit. And now we can see here that our user status is now active. So this user is now active and ready to go. They are now able to log in to COB. Now I'm going to go back to Administration, Manage Users, and then we're going to take a look at how to go in and edit users' information. So here's my user that I just set up, April Flowers. If I click on her user ID, this allows me to go in and edit her contact information. Then I can go in and update the user's email address and telephone numbers. Once I do that, I would click on Save User. Then we come back here. I can also go in and edit the user's role. So if I wanted to go in and remove any of these, click on Save Changes. Then we have Services and Accounts. Click on Edit Services and Accounts. This allows me to go in and make any changes. Can remove or change any of the services that are listed here. Once I go in and do that, then I want to make sure that I save the changes. Then down here we have our limit. I can go in and edit the ACH limit. Once I go in and make my edit, I will click on Save Changes. And then we have wires limit. And then I can, same thing here, I can go in and update my wire limit. Be sure to save your changes. Now again, I just want to add again that it's very important that the company administrator goes in and sets up the users based on their roles. So you'll know what you want, what accounts and entitlements and services you want to assign to each particular user. Also, the company administrators will be added onto the system and will be able to log in. So all admin users will use their same username as the previous application, and the temporary password will be BOB1, and both these are in uppercase. So that's uppercase B, lowercase o, uppercase B1, plus the first 5 letters of their current password. Now we're going to take a look at, we're going to go back to administration and we're going to take a look at self-administration. And this is where the user is able to go in and change their password and manage their contact preferences, manage their favorites, and also view user activity reports. So first we're going to take a look at how the user goes in and changes their password. So they would type in the current password and then enter the new password and confirm the password. Here, the password criteria, it will be listed here for the user. They save the changes. And then let's take a look at managing contact preferences. This allows the users to go in and update their email address and telephone numbers. And then the last thing that we're going to take a look at under self-administration is manage favorites. In manage favorites, you're able to add up to 5 favorites. So we come down to our list here and select the favorites that we want to add. And there's a list of different ones that we can add here. Then I would just add the favorite once I've selected it. And then to delete a favorite, just click on delete. Then if I go back to my welcome page here, under the shortcuts panel, I can see my favorites here. So I can just click on the favorite. Next, we're going to go to the Reports tab, and there's 2 reports that we are going to be taking a look at here, and that is the Activity Report and the Balances Report. And with the reports in Business Online Banking is a feature that will allow you to view accounts and account activity. So first, we're going to take a look at the Activity Report. Now, each report requires a criteria selection to better define what you're looking for. So up here we have our output. So this, by clicking on Show More Options, this opens up all the options. And I do want to just add that you may not have all the options. You may only have some of these options. Because this is a demo site, it allows us to have all the options listed there. Then we go in and we can change our view here. We have our accounts listed here. I can see all accounts, or I can sort by checking, savings, certificate of deposit, or recently used. I'm going to leave it at all accounts. If you do change it, just remember to click on Go. Then I'll select the account. I'm going to select all of them. And then we have a date range. I can select a specific date or a date range. I can also select previous business day or since last download. And then we have transaction types here. I can select all transactions, all credit, all debit, and then selected groups. I've got credit groups and debit groups here. And then down below, I have display options. I can sort by account number, description, ABA number and account number, or ABA number and description. I can include transaction details, and I can include subtotals for selected transaction groups. Then we have advanced search options. We can search by an exact amount or an amount range, minimum and maximum listed here. We can also search by check serial number, the exact number or range, and we can also search by description. Now I'm going to go ahead and generate the report. And then here we have our report information, the activity. Now under the image column here, if you have an icon of a camera, that will allow you to go in and see the copy of the check or deposit slip. All right, the next report that we're going to take a look at is the balance report. Again, we're going to select our criteria. I've got all of my accounts already selected, and then my date range. And then we have the same options to sort here. I'm going to generate the report. And then I have my balance information. Then you can click on the last 4 digits of the account number, this hypertext link here, to see some additional information. Next, we're going to go into the Transfers and Payments tab. And the two that we're going to take a look at first are the internal transfer and the multiple transfer. The internal is used from one First Community Bank account to another First Community Bank account. And then multiple is used to transfer from one to many or many to one First Community Bank account. So first we're going to take a look at the internal transfer. I'm going to click on Transfer Money. I'm going to select my From account and then my To account, the amount, we can add a description also, that is optional, and then the frequency. And if you notice, these frequencies are the same as what we looked at for the custom alert. I can do today or one time, or I can put it on a schedule also. I'll do one time, and then I'll select my date. Then I'm going to select Continue. And then you want to verify your information. Then if you notice down here, we have Submit for Approval or Approve. If you do not have the entitlement to approve the transaction, you're going to select Submit for Approval, or if you want to submit it for approval, you're able to do that. Or if you have the entitlement to approve the transaction, you can just click on Approve. I'm going to submit for approval. Then you get your transaction confirmation. Now, to approve the transaction, if you're an approver, you click on Approve Transfer Internal. And then these are all the ones that are waiting on an approval. I can go in and select all of them and continue, or I can select one or two. And then Transmit is approved. So I can go ahead and approve those two. Next, let's take a look at the multiple account transfer. going to select Transfer Money, Manage Template. First, we're going to go ahead and add a template for the multiple transfer. So let's give it a name. And then the action, debit, the total transfer amount is deducted from the main account and transferred to the detailed account. So we haven't selected our main account yet, so this will be the main account that we select. And then we're going to add our detailed accounts down here. And then the credit, the total transfer amount is deducted from the detailed accounts, which is the ones that we select down here, and transfer to the main account. So we're going to go ahead and do a debit. Select our main account. Then the maximum transfer amount. Then the description field is optional. So then I would come down here, select the account. You can select several of them or one. I'm going to add an additional one. So I've added my detailed account. So right now the total transfer amount is being deducted from the main account, which is here, checking 1, and transferred into these 2 accounts. And then I can add an amount here. So I have my amounts added. I can click on Add Template, or I can go in and set all default amounts to a certain amount. So let's say that I wanted them both to be $5,000. Click on Change, and then it changes the amount over here, the default amount to $5,000. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the template. And then I get my template confirmation. Next, we're going to take a look at transferring money using a template. If you notice here also, I can transfer money using this template, or I can transfer money using an existing template. So I'm going to go back to transfer money here, and then I'm just going to select one of these templates here. I'll select the one that I just set up and continue. So here we have the template name, the debit source, the maximum transfer amount, and then the description is optional, so is the control amount. Now I can change the amounts here, or I can leave them the same. I'll leave them the same for this demonstration and click on Continue. Now again, this says to verify transfer, and then I can submit for approval, or I can transmit. Transmit will be to approve this transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and transmit this one. And then I get my transfer confirmation. And then to approve, you would do the same thing. Approve transfers, multiple accounts. And then right now I don't have any available in the training demo site, but this is where they would appear. So that's internal and multiple transfers. Now we're going to move on to Stop Payment. I'm going to go to the Account Services tab and select Stop Payment, Stop Check Payment. Here, we click on the drop-down box for account. We would select the account. The expiration date is optional. The reason is also optional. Then we have the option to go with a single, stop a single check, or stop a range of checks. And we can stop a range of checks up to 49. So to stop a single check, I'll put the check number in. The date on the check. The payee is optional, and the amount is also optional. Then I'll click on Continue. Now, I do want to just talk about the range, to stop a range of checks. here we would place the first check number here and then the last check number here, and then continue. Then here we would verify the stop, verify your information, and submit the request. We also have the option here to edit this request. I can select Edit Request and go in and make any edits. And then continue. Now I'm going to go ahead and submit the request. And then I've got my stop payment confirmation. Now I'm going to view the existing stop payment request. And I also have the option to add a new request. So I'm going to view existing stop payment request. Then I'm going to run my search, select all accounts, and then I'm going to do a date range. And then generate report, and then I have my existing stops out there. At this point, I can cancel this as the user. I can cancel one of these or both of these if I'd like to. All right, and at this point, we're going to stop for questions. So I'm going to hand it back over to Shelley at this time. Shelley, I'm going to go ahead and unmute the line.
All participants are now in interactive talk mode.
Great. Thank you, Lisette. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have at this point. So go ahead and start asking your question.
Shelley.
Yes.
Hey, it's Debbie Skipper. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Is there a charge for the stop payment?
Yeah, it's still the same, the $35.
Okay. Just want to make sure on that.
Yes, ma'am. No fees are changing at this point. We're remaining the same.
Shelley, this is Yolanda.
Hello.
Hi there. I just wanted to know about the report. If you print a report for a month, will it print in statement format?
That I'm not sure of. Lisette?
When we go on back into the demo site, I'll bring it up for you to take a look at it. I'm sorry I didn't bring that up previously, but when we go back in, we can take a look.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shelley.
Yes, ma'am.
This is me, Catherine Reynolds.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. We have a bunch of accounts coming out of our main account, like utilities and stuff like that are automatically debited. Am I going to have to reset all that stuff back up?
No, ma'am, you will not. None of the account numbers, none of the accounts are going to change for any of our accounts. It's just the online banking system is what is changing.
Okay.
So your account numbers will remain the same, so you don't have to set up any recurring debits that you have for utility payments. You do not have to change any of that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Shelley?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Kelly Hayes.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. I've got a quick question, and it took me a few minutes to get in, so I was a little behind.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When you started. That's okay. Did you go over templates for payroll?
Not yet. If you'll hang on the line after we get through this Q&A, we'll start the wire and ACH portion.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those phone numbers, hey, this is Holly Astwood from Newberry.
Hey.
Hey, the phone numbers in our user profile, is that where that, when we log in and we get that security code back, is that the phone number that the callers always go to, one that's associated with our personal profile?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, this is Meredith Holiday, and I had a question on the multiple transfer.
Hey, Meredith.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It looked like when you were going through the example, you put like maybe $5,000 in the main account, but then in the detail accounts, the amounts you put in there didn't equal $5,000. So I guess I didn't understand why those didn't have to equal.
Kelly,
Does
I
that
can
make
answer
sense?
that if you like.
Sure.
No, the amount that I put in at the top there, the default amount, that's per transaction. It just means that each transaction can't be over that amount. It can be any amount as long as it's not over the set default amount.
Okay, so when you put the detail balances, each detail balance cannot be over that amount, and then it automatically adds up the details and pulls that from the main account.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All righty. You're welcome. Okay, are there any additional questions?
All right. Doesn't sound like there's any additional questions up there. For those who'd like to learn and understand more about the wire and ACH features of online banking, please find. For those leaving the presentation at this time, thank you for joining us today. Just a reminder, please contact First Community Bank Business Services team. Phone numbers listed above. If you have any questions, we're here to help you. Lisette, go ahead. It's the next portion of this webinar.
Thanks, Shelley. I'm going to go ahead and mute the lines again.
All participants are now in listen-only mode.
And I'm going to go ahead and share my demo slide again. So the next two features that we're going to go over is wire and ACH. The first one that we'll take a look at is wires, which are available under the Transfers and Payments menu. Here are our wire functions listed here. The two options that are available under the Process Wire Request are a one-time entry, and this information is not available for future use. And then we can also use a template, which can be reused in the future. So all wires and ACH transactions are created through BOB. They're required to be performed under dual control. So let's take a look. So we've got wire money here. Going to select the wire type. We have domestic wire. And then if I give to save the template, I would give it a name. If this is a one-time only, then I would not give it a name. Then we select the account from the drop-down, and then our send-on date. The amount, and then continue. So then we have our debit information listed up top, and then the recipient information down below. Here we're going to add our bank ID, and this is going to be the bank's routing number. So if you have the routing number, you can add it here, or I can select Bank ID Search. Now, if I have the routing number and add it here, and I click on Bank ID Validate, what will happen is the bank's information will autofill here. So I'm going to do a search. And here's our search options. I can search by name, state and city, or ABA number. So I'm going to remove the exact match on name. And I'm going to go ahead and search. Then I'm going to scroll through and find the bank that I'm looking for. Select it, and then click on Add Bank. Now, once I've added it, then the bank's information will fill. Then we go down, up here we're going to add the recipient account number. And then the recipient name. Recipient's address. And then the intermediary information will be added below if there is an intermediary. Then we have our wire initiator information here, and then I'm going to continue. Then you want to verify your wire information. If you're able to approve, you will click on Approve or Submit for Approval. I'm going to go ahead and approve. Then I get my wire confirmation. And we just sent a one-time wire. So again, as Shelley stated earlier, the existing wire templates will be converted to BOB application, and they'll be available. They should be available now. They were available as of May 22nd. So any company with existing templates will be populated to BOB. Now, to approve a wire, we go to Approve Wire. And then these are the ones that are waiting for approval. And these work just the same way that, that I demonstrated in internal transfer. I can select all or one. Also gives me the option here to delete the wire if I want to at this time. So it's selected, and then click on Continue, and then Transmit to Approve. Next, we're going to wire money via template. So here, I'm going to select my template name. I can view the template details from here also. I just click on the hypertext link there. Then I can select the amount, or type in the amount, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to click on Continue. But I also have the option here for frequency. So I can do today only, one time, and then I have all of these other options. So I'm going to go ahead and select every other week. And then I can select when I want it to go out. Next send on. So I'm going to say June 5th. Then here's my options. I can end on, I can have this go out, I can continue indefinitely, or continue until this date. So I put a date in there if I select that option, or continue for this many occurrences. Then for processing options, use the next processing date if a scheduled request falls on a non-processing date, or use the previous processing date if a scheduled request falls on a non-processing date. Then continue. And then you want to verify the wire. And then either submit for approval or approve. And then you have your wire confirmation here. Now the last one that I want to take a look at is wire money via multiple templates. And this allows us to wire money using different templates, multiple templates. So here I would go in and select the template, the amount, and the date. And then I would go down. If I have several, I can select the same one also just for demonstration purposes here. Put in different amounts. Then I would go down and select several more if I needed to use several different templates. If I want to do more than 5, I just click on Add More Requests, and it gives me 5 more fields. And I can continue to do that as many times as I need to. Then I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then I can submit for approval or approve. I'm going to go ahead and approve. And then, again, I get my wire confirmation. Also, keep in mind that if you're set up to approve to do approval, because these are set at dual approval, so they will need a second approval, you want to make sure that you set up your alert so that you receive an alert every time you need to go in and approve a wire. Now we're going to take a look at ACH. I'm going to go back to Transfers and Payments. Then we're going to go on the ACH, and here's all of our options for ACH. We're going to go to Make ACH Payment first. So first, we're going to send money without a template. So again, to save this request as a template, enter a template name. Because this is a one-time, I'm not going to add a name. I'm going to select my request type. And the company name ID. Template description. Then what account I want to debit. Maximum transfer amount. Then the effective date. And continue. And then I'm going to add the payment details. So here I'm going to add my credit account. So the routing number goes first. And remember, we can also do a search by clicking on ABA Search. Then I'm going to add the account number, select my account type, add a name, then I can add the detailed ID here is optional, and I can put an amount in. Then add additional detail row. My account number, checking or savings, name, and then I can continue to add additional detail rows. I'm going to go ahead and continue now. And then I can submit for approval or transmit after I've verified the information. I'm going to go ahead and transmit. And I get my payment confirmation here. Next, we're going to take a look at uploading ACH transactions. And this is, for this demonstration, I'm going to have to go to another site. Here, we're going to go to Transfers and Payments under ACH. We're going to go to Upload ACH Transactions. And then here, I'm going to upload the ACH transaction file. Click on Browse, and then upload the file. And then we come to the screen File Update or Upload Status, Approved Files. Then you'll see that the file's being verified. It's going to show here. Once it's been verified, it's going to drop down to either files to approve or transmit or reject it. So if it falls down to the rejected field down here, you'll be able to click on the hypertext link and see the reason that the file reject it, and then you can make edits and then resubmit it. And once all the errors have been, once you've fixed all the errors in the file, then it should go to Files to Approve or Transmit. You'll find it up here. So right now we have these two files here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue to approve them. And then we come to Verify File Approval, and then to approve them, I click on Transmit. Now, for those of you that will be needing to approve these with the out-of-band authentication, this is where you will do that. So we click on Continue, select Phone or Text Message, and Continue. Phone call completed once you enter the code. And then you'll get your file approval confirmation. And I do want to add that for the out-of-band authentication, it's going to be the preferred method of step-up authentication at First Community Bank. So for ACH and wire approval, for those customers that are currently using tokens, the tokens will not convert. Those customers will be automatically converted over to out-of-band authentication. So at this time, this is going to wrap up my demonstration, so I'm going to hand things back over to Shelley for questions at this time.
Real quick, Lisette, do you mind pulling the statement?
Report?
Yeah, or the report rather, to see how that's going to pull in a statement format, or just?
Sure thing. Thanks for reminding me.
Ma'am. And then we'll get to questions.
Okay. So once I go in and run the report, I click on Print This Page. This is the format that it will print in for you right here.
Perfect.
All right. Go ahead, Shelley.
All right. Thanks, Lisette. All right. At this point, we're opening up the phone lines for any questions you have regarding ACH and wires. If you have a question, press *6 to unmute your line. Once your question has been answered, please press *6 again to mute the line.
Could you go over the details with the people that use a token right now?
Sure. You would like for me to demonstrate that again?
Yeah, if that's possible, or you could just tell me. Obviously, we're not going to use those anymore.
That is correct. Your tokens, currently, you need them on today's system up until Friday at 6 p.m. Come Monday, June 5th, you will use the out-of-band authentication. Have you already signed into the preview site?
I have.
Okay, so that one-time security verification process that you went through the very first time when you logged in?
Right.
That's going to be the same process to release your ACH or wire transfer to the bank for processing.
Okay. Now, I understand that all of my employees are in there because I obviously submit my payroll through the bank. So I know yesterday Jennifer and I were playing around with it, and I know things weren't supposed to save in the test mode, but I just, we made changes to employees, like account numbers, tried to add employees, and they stayed on for a little bit and went away, which I expected. So I just want to confirm that's basically the same thing I did on the old screen.
Yeah, I think I know who this is. We worked on that last night.
Okay.
You should be able to go in there today and make your changes on the preview site, and it should save for you.
Okay.
We had to tweak into your company ID in order for it to give you the prompt to save your changes.
Okay, because it didn't give me an option to save any changes or anything. I kind of hit the continue button or...
we were running the same thing. But yeah, we did work on that last night, and it should be all set for you today. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll get you taken care of.
I think in my last question, are you going to put out like a PowerPoint of this webinar today?
The actual webinar will be uploaded to our website.
Okay.
It'll be under the upgraded system portion of our webpage, and it'll probably be, today's Wednesday, it'll probably be by Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shelley?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Kelly Hayes again. I have a question. Okay, so the templates, if you're uploading a payroll template, all of that information, account number or routing number, is all in the template. So earlier there was something said about any changes that you make on or after May 12th would need to be made on the preview site?
Yes, ma'am.
Before 6 p.m.
Correct,
so,
on Friday.
Okay, I haven't been
just to make sure that you've got the most current information on the new site ready for you to start using on Monday.
Okay. So give me an example of changes.
If you are changing account information for an employee, you're adding new employees, that information you want to add, you've already added that to your current template on the current system. You need to go into the preview site and add that to your system there, that template on the new system on the preview.
Okay. Excuse my ignorance.
No, you are fine.
I'm confused because, for example, if we have a new employee, we set it up on our accounting software, and then we upload the payroll file. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's nothing to add, correct?
Oh, no, ma'am. You will not have to add anything.
Okay.
You're just going to upload your template to the bank beginning. If you are paying it all next week, you'll just upload it. Just like Lisette showed in her demo, you are going to select Upload File.
Okay. That's what
and you'll go out and browse for that file after you've saved it somewhere on your computer.
Right. Okay.
Just kind of like you did today. It's just in a little bit of a different format.
Okay. All right. That's what I needed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Great questions, y'all.
Shelley.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going over positive pay?
Or not?
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we need to, increase our credit limit, should I follow my current procedures, or can I do that right there on the screen like I kind of saw?
No, you'll have to go through the same process is going to apply if you're exceeding your ACH daily limit.
Okay.
You'll still need to call in for the one-time increase, and we'll increase that for you. Of course, it'll come to you first as the admin, and if you've got additional users, secondary users that are initiating ACH, you'll need to apply that limit to them as well.
Okay.
But if you need an actual permanent increase, let us know, and we'll get that taken care of. We'll have Gina review that for us.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are we going to go over the bill pay section?
No, ma'am. Bill pay at this time is It's not, it's a separate product from online banking. I mean, it's within online banking, but it's not part of this demo today. And that if you have gotten into the preview site, you'll notice that Bill Pay is not out there because there's really nothing that you can preview at this time.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all for attending today. Just a reminder to please contact the Business Services team using the phone numbers listed above. You can also, if you don't have a copy of the guidebook, you can go to the bank's website at www.firstcommunitysc.com. Again, the gray banner at the top, if you click on the hyperlink to learn more, that's going to take you into the system upgrade section of the web page. You'll see a box that says business accounts, and the guidebooks are listed in there as a PDF. If you just click on it, it will open for you. Please give us a call if you have any questions. We're here for you. Hope you all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.